Hi kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday, coming to you here again from the Attic of Achievements. So, eight weeks, including this one, to have a full 52-week Terry on Tuesday for all of 2023, which, as I've said before, will be the last year that I do regular Tuesday videos. There are previous videos explaining why. Look for a video called "It's the End, but the Moment Has Been Prepared For," to paraphrase Tom Baker. Anyway, so Vl'Hurg helmet stuff. Also, I'll be talking about the Mandalorian costume that I'm making, because I know some people want to know about that. And also the return of Cardiff Jack Sparrow. Savvy? Okay, so let's talk Vl'Hurg. Kept on a nice silky pillow in order to not damage the paint job on that. I spent the last week painting the rubber strip all the way around here and the underside of the foam strip, so that's pretty much all done. That's had 3 coats of paint. I've also unzipped the padded bit that goes around the back of the helmet, so it's beginning to look very close to finished. Now, I did say last week that I was making the crest bit, and here is the crest bit. Right, so there's the front of the helmet, and there's the crest we made last week. And yes, I did end up gluing the steel ruler, very, very light, very thin, it's about 1 millimeter thin, onto the back of that to keep its strength. Now that will pop onto there. And I think, like I said, I'm going to curve it a little bit more, so that's about there. It doesn't need to be that high, as far as I can remember. Looking at the reference photo, please insert now, thank you. Yeah, so you can see that needs to be kind of down a little bit more, and all I need to do for that, he says, ruining it in one go. There we go, just a slight adjustment. That's looking better already. Okay, so my original plan was to glue this straight on, but what I'm going to do now is for Mr. E to glue this on himself, I think, because packing this with this thing sticking up is going to increase the chance of damage to this in post. What I will finish doing was painting all the way down to about here in gold. I was toying with the idea actually of putting some earth magnets, you know, say 2 or 3, embedded into the foam so that they would stick to the steel ruler like clunk. That still might be a good idea, and if Mr. E wants to do that, or wants me to do that, let me know, Mr. E. If not, I'll supply this separately, because then, being an American, all you need to do is get some crazy glue on there. That's super glue for us Brits. Crazy glue. Hold it on for 30 seconds and he's on forever. But I'm going to paint this gold. I'm going to stop at about, well, we have a ruler. I'm going to stop at 3 inches from the bottom of the ruler to there, which won't be painted. Same with 3 inches on here. And everything else will be gold, so you can just pop that on. I mean, magnet might be quite handy. You can transport it like this and then just go click and it's on. Anyway, magnets is one idea. The other idea, glue it permanently if it's going to be on display or something nice like that. Okay, so what else did we talk about? Horns. The horns business. These things fall everywhere. It's because they're so light. So, as you know, this is one of the horns, and the end of the horns, I was talking about buying a black wooden cone that fits engagement rings and stuff on. Well, the cones arrived. Here's one of them, and they're very nice, but as you can see, they're very small. They're not very how can I do this so you can see it? They're not very impressive, are they? It needs to be a little bit taller and a little bit wider to match the width of the horn there. So I've gone and ordered these from eBay, and yes, they're not hard wearing wood, they're polystyrene, but I'm going to wrap the polystyrene in our old favourite micro pour tape, and then paint them the Hammerite gold to go on the end, and I think they'll be lovely. Obviously I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom of the polystyrene to fit them on and glue them on nicely. Okay, now the only things left to do really is once the metal bracket is back on here, we need the cylindrical kind of collar or cover that goes over the ends of the horns, which I will be making out of PVC pipe and a strip of this around the middle, and then more Hammerite. So we'll get onto that in the week. This is mostly a show and tell this week, rather than actual practical stuff, because lots of stuff going on. Anyway, then the other thing I need to do, mask is pretty much done now. That looks really good. So remember, it's got the black stuff on the back, and yeah, so basically this thin area here will slot up into the gap between the lining and the now gold rubber strip. They'll go up in there. I'm going to get a screwdriver in here, and because this is a polystyrene shell on the inside, I'm going to force this gap a little bigger so it'll go all the way around and fit in nicely. So that's going to look good. And then in the back, all the way around, we do have the flappage. And the flappage, that's the one that goes around the back, the shroud, which I didn't shorten in the end. I was talking about shortening it years ago. When I first made this, I was like, oh, maybe I should shorten it, but I don't want it shortened. I think if it needs to be shortened, Mr. E can always go from this end and cut it down. But I think it's quite impressively short, impressively long as it is there, you know. What I may do at the top of this is put a very thin strip of plastic all the way around that can be bent, and then the plastic can be pushed up into the slot just like the mask. Okay, and then the flappage on the front, these are the 4 flaps with the golden, nice golden studs on, they will be glued permanently to the bottom of the face. So for example, this is the end one, and that goes on, no, sorry, that goes the middle one, goes on like that, you see. And I think that could be fine, because once it's all glued, and when it's packed up, it can be just folded in like that, you see, like with the other 3, and drop down. They don't need to be velcroed or anything silly like that, just glue them on. So we'll do that in the week too. So as you can see, we're so close to the end, oh, by the way, Mr. E, this is the padded strip for the back with the zipper on, which goes on the back of the helmet. I'll keep that on. You can probably put that straight back on the helmet if you want to, but I'll leave it separate for now, because it is part of the helmet. Right, Mando business. So what I've been doing with the Mando is working out how to fix the chest plates onto the jumpsuit. So originally I thought Velcro, but I'm not too sure if Velcro sticks to the cloth very well. You have to either sew it or find a kind of glue that will actually stick to the thing. I don't trust Velcro very much. So I went the old UK Garrison method of using poppers, snappers. So after a lot of working out, putting the jumpsuit on, you will notice at the top here, let's have a look. See these? Here they are. One there. These are 15, and one there, and one, 2 at the bottom there, and another couple down there. So all those silver poppers correspond to the armor plates. This is the stomach armor, and on the back I've got the corresponding poppers, and they're being glued on with a piece of leather because it's easier to attach, basically, got more surface area. That was all well and good until I tried the 2 chest plates on. When I tried to take one of these off on the chest things, this happened. E6000 does not stick very well to the 3D printed piece. So as you can see, I've marked with a pencil, and I only go back to good old super glue to glue these back on. Now, I haven't done it with these, as you can see how quickly it peeled off. That's what the pencil mark's for, so I know which one goes back on. But I have super glued all 3 of these on the chest armour, and they're a lot stronger. They ain't coming off now. Potch, eh? Maybe I should have done Velcro, right? Anyway, so they're done. Oh, the only thing I have to do is the little centerpiece. See, that goes like that, and that goes somewhere in the center, but there's a zip on the middle of the jumpsuit. So I'm going to need to put a strap or something that goes from the chest to the middle, to the other chest piece. So it goes right across, and that's in the middle there. And that will just float on its own like that. But we're getting there. A couple of other things. Yes. The other day I was looking for bits for my Jack Sparrow. We'll talk about Jack Sparrow as well. Jack Sparrow does have what he calls his manky pelts, which are 2 strips of fur hanging off his belt. In my last costume I had a sort of brownish one and a whitish one, so I went for the same thing. And as you can see in the photos, I tore apart a perfectly good kid's jacket. I don't know if it's a designer make, Oasis, probably isn't, but it was a nice jacket. But for the price of buying some fur like this online, which may have cost me like 10 quid, I just bought the jacket for £4, pulled it apart, used as much as I could. I've got plenty of this left over. So I'm going to put some pelts, some manky pelts, on my Mandalorian hanging from the belt. Why not? The original Boba Fett, I think a lot of Boba Fett costumes still have plaited, braided hair, and it hangs off his shoulder, and they're called Wookiee pelts. Which they said was, which we first saw in the Boba Fett action figure, especially the 12-inch one, had these Wookiee pelts hanging off his shoulder. There's a lot of dust, fur floating around in here. So I'm going to put some of these on the old, on the Mando belt as well. Anything else? No, we'll talk about Jack Sparrow. I am currently getting Cardiff Jack Sparrow back together. As I've said before, this is mainly for a fun thing now. I'm not going to be doing it for all and sundry, by which I mean birthday parties, public appearances, festivals, play centres, opening of an envelope, that kind of thing. It drove me mad, and I had to stop after 11 years. I stopped because it was driving me crazy. It wasn't very comfortable. I had to sell the entire costume, just to prevent people from saying, I know you're retired, but can you not be retired and do this birthday party for me? And I'm like, no. So I ended up selling everything, So yes, in a way, I shouldn't have sold it, but I needed to do it for my sanity, right? Anyway, I've been gathering together most of a new Jack Sparrow costume. I've been trying to do it on a budget, but I've found that the price of stuff for Jack Sparrow has gone through the roof. That said, though, I've got some bargains. Let me pull my Jack Sparrow box out. Give me a second. Oh, that's heavier than I thought. Okay, let's kind of go through some of this. First thing, and one of the best things, I finally got the proper coat. I say proper, it's not screen used, £2,000 worth coat, but it's a much closer coat to the what they call ebony raffia. It's missing some pockets. But yes, I will, missing some buttons, as you can see, but I will be reattaching the buttons, but it's nice to have a proper jacket. I did buy another compass. This is slightly bigger than my last one, but I've done a lot of work. All the white stuff is thin plasticard strips, which I'm going to repaint. I have to glue these on individually, and I have to fix, I have to get the thing spinning properly, etc. Put some leather on the bottom, all that malarkey. I gotta put this box down now. Oh, that's better. Got myself a bandana. Now the bandana is 1 meter square. You can buy cheaper ones that are smaller, but they're not right. You need to get the meter square one. This is very, very dark. Usually they come in bright red. You can get them on Amazon, bright red. And if anybody wants to buy me one for Christmas, that'd be much appreciated. As you can see, they are thin. They are really thin, right? Unfortunately, they are. But, I mean, this will do for now. This will be fair enough. It looks quite dark and weathered, but I'd rather have a bright one and weather it myself. But this was not cheap. These used to cost about £6 back in the day, £6.99, and I'm sure this was the best part of 15, 16 quid. Everything has gone up in price, as I said. Certain things I'm doing on the cheap. Used to have a wrist wrap sort of round here. The actual wrist wrap that you can buy from people online will cost you 30, 40, 50 pounds. I'm using a piece of old blanket which looks very similar, and it's a lot more comfortable than the original one, so I'm sticking with that. New boots. Boots are one of the most expensive things in the costume. I've decided to go cheap and cheerful. Leather boots were... My leather boots last time cost me 100 quid, and they were made. They were cobbled together from a pair of Chelsea boots and some leather. The actual Jack Sparrow boots are a minimum of $400 plus shipping, right? So I found, well, one of the Jack Sparrows online linked me to these. They are fake suede, all faux suede. They are a bit big, but they're about as big as my last ones. They don't, you can't buy them in the actual shoe sizes. They're just medium or large basically, but they are the right color. I finally got a nice pair of yellowy ones. They're a little bit flimsy, a little bit floppy. I'm going to see if there's a way I can attach something on the inside to sort of keep them a little bit more, upright, as it were. And they need to be dirtied down. They're far too clean at the moment. Get some spray and some filth on them. But other than that, I've tried them on and they're rather nice. So along with the decent coat now, I think it's going to look good. Had a bargain car boot sale the other day. These bits are all die cast metal, but all this is plastic. Kind of looks like wood. But this is very close to Jack Sparrow's gun. It's very close. It doesn't really work anymore, which is probably a good thing. But that's not bad, and that was like £3 from a car boot sale. I really lucked out with that. Very hard to get hold of a gun. Now, the wig. I do have a wig. Don't have it with me. Basically, the wig looked like this. And as you can see at the back of the wig, the dreads are quite thick and bulky, but they're very loose and soft. They haven't been needle felted. They haven't been compressed into these tight dreadlocks. So I put a call out on Facebook, and a local lady said she does needle felting and said she could have a go at poking, basically, with a needle, these big soft dreads into tight tubes, tight dreadlocks. Now they're away being done. She's going to do the one to see if she can actually do it for me. I have had offers from other people who said they can have a go at it for me because they're not quite right. And I think I need to buy more dreadlocks to add to it to bulk it all out. A wig is one of the important parts of Jack Sparrow, and if that's not right, then it's not right. I'm hoping this will be as good as my last wig, which looked like that, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to end this video now, mainly because I heard some weird knocking downstairs and my phone data is off, so I can't tell if anyone is actually trying to call me. Anyway, yes, it's been a big chat, 20 minutes worth. Anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully more Vl'Hurg interestingness next week, and a little bit more Mando progress, and hopefully some more things in the post from for the Jack Sparrow suit. Hope you found that interesting. I know it's all talk and a bit of show and tell, but next week we'll have a bit more progress again. And as always, the link in the description for my film is there, bloodystudents.co.uk, and I will see you again in the attic of achievements next time. Take care now. Bye bye then.